Hey guys, welcome to another Monday morning update. Hi, Stephanie and Rozella. How are you?
Hi, we're good. How are you?
I'm good too. We're going to dig into this. I've had some clients ask me recently, and they can ask me, of course, because I'm not a real estate agent. They go, does it really make sense to use a real estate agent to buy or sell your home? And what's the advantages? They cost so much. How would you
You sound
respond
like
to that, guys?
so many people we talk to.
Well, honestly, I've had clients that have tried selling their properties for sale by owner for long periods of time and it not work out. And then they've come to me asking for help. And then I've also had clients who have come to me with that argument and we've kind of walked through the process. So that one's pretty easy. I know you've had that conversation plenty.
Oh yeah, lots of times. So there's always a value component. A lot of people think, I don't want to spend the money. I want to save money. Because I mean, if we're all honest, we're all kind of frugal, cheap, whatever you want to call us, because well, money's not able to go as quick these days. So we want to hold on to as much of it as possible. Um,
Absolutely.
what people oftentimes don't realize is really the job behind the scenes. So a lot of people just think like, oh, they're just putting my house on the market. How hard can that be? Well, do you have a 9 to 5 job? Do you have this? Do you have that? So what we as an agent do is we are, working around the clock, taking phone calls, taking questions, marketing, doing everything to put a house on the market to sell. And then if we're looking for our buyers, we're able to ask questions that most buyers aren't going to typically think of on their own because they just don't do this day in and day out. And to answer anybody's question of whether you should, yes, you should, because it's going to give you that protection that you are not going to find or have on your own. And
that's what I was thinking.
Does that save you money? No, not normally. Anybody who's a mechanic who's ever worked on a car that's like, yeah, I'll try and YouTube this. Sometimes you can make your problem and your life a little bit harder instead of just paying a little bit of money. I know it sucks to do sometimes, but if you just do that, and then there's that peace and ease of mind by having the professional handling it and you not having to.
She says protection, and you might be wondering, well, what do you mean protection?
Good point.
One thing as realtors, when you hire one, we are protected by our brokerage with attorneys, people who know legally exactly what we're supposed to be doing. So even if there's something that we're not quite sure of, we have legal people on our side and our team that are guiding us and saying, okay, this is what you need to do for your client. And what's the best thing for them. And not only that, we make sure that the title for that home is legally capable of being sold. You're making sure like that property can be sold. There's no liens on it. There's nothing holding it. You don't have a spouse that wandered off that still owns it. Simple things like that, that when you don't have a realtor checking on, things can go wrong. So when she says there's more protection, those are just a couple of reasons. Also, the lending component. We make sure that you, John, can do your job and make sure that that home can be lent on and kind of get things rolling. Sometimes that might not be done without a realtor.
And the final component of that with the protection, the ease, the communication, all the things is again that money piece. So that one question of, well, aren't I going to spend more money by hiring a realtor? Actually, all the things. The NAR and a few other sources have actually done a lot of different research and kind of like beta tests on this to see. A seller will actually not 10 times, but 9 out of 10 times make more money and profit more by hiring an agent and letting them list their property. They'll end up pocketing and netting more that way than they would actually by doing it themselves. And fun fact, I would say actually there was a one that I did recently that was a for sale by owner, and they did not list it, and I thought it was listed pretty accurately, but because I was an agent and I knew how to then ask and negotiate with a writing offer, I was able to get more for that particular buyer because that seller was not represented, and not that we were taking advantage at all, but I guarantee if they would have had an agent that helped represent them to negotiate my negotiations, we probably would have gotten them a little bit more for them as a seller. But in this case, it helped my buyer and it got my buyer a little bit more, which was a benefit to them. So
There you go. All
be
right.
careful as a seller. It's not, I mean, we are honest. I would like to say that that's going to be congruent throughout our industry, but well, we already know that that's not always true either. So be careful who you do hire. Be careful who you go into business with and who you do trust. And make sure that they're a credible source and look at their history, track record, all the things. And that will definitely help navigate the buying and selling process with an agent.
Very good. So I could just add to what the ladies have said. I've bought and sold a lot of homes over my time, some of them by myself, some with the real estate agent. I can tell you that you're going to get more views on your home if you're selling it, if you list with the real estate agent by far than if you stick a sign out in front of your yard. I mean, you might get that person with that sign. You get a lot more people. Consequently, you get a lot more people to make offers. Consequently, as Steffani and Rozella are saying here, you're probably, in most cases, going to make more money with a real estate agent than not. And the other thing that I just really want to emphasize, if you don't know what you're doing here, you need someone to guide you. And real estate agents, they're licensed for a reason and have the background. And certainly Rozella and Steffani do that. They're going to guide you through a very complex transaction, which could have legal consequences, and you don't want that. So you want the right team in place for you, including, as Rozella said, the lender and the real estate agent. So I agree with you. Good job.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I think overall, it doesn't necessarily have to do either with the money. Sometimes it has to do with just the ease of the process and making sure it's a smooth process for everybody. And sometimes it's worth it. I would say all the time it's worth it, actually.
On that note, that, like you said, it's not about the money, but at the same time, your time is money. We teach people this regularly. That's not necessarily our industry to teach people how to manage their time, but that is part of it. Is when you are a person who has a full-time job and then you're trying to sell your house, you're not giving it the amount of time that us as an agent is going to devote to you and to selling your house, because that's our job. We're getting literally paid and hired to do that. So our time is money, your time is money. It saves money all the way around. And it covers
exactly. When you don't know what to do to your house, you ask for Rozella or Steffani, they'll tell you. Sometimes it's cost effective to do that thing. Sometimes it's not. So get a professional there to help you out. Staging it, showing it, marketing it, all the steps they do to show a house, get it prepared for sale, and sell it. Go through that process. I concur. I think the realtor has a very active and important role in the process, guys. So, thanks, ladies.
We're cheaper than therapists. We're cheaper than attorneys as well. So,
She's not wrong with the therapist part.
Or attorney part.
So I can tell you she's not wrong with the attorney part.
Quite a bit with our job.
Yes, we do. We get to hear and see it all. So we're a good bang for your buck, actually, really.
We're going to have to do another video sometime on stories of the process. That would be fun.
Oh, boy.
I would never tell.
We can't spill the tea.
Lock them away.
Thanks, ladies. Good to talk to you as always. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.